Hello YouTube, it is I, Banded Wendy, on Saturday, 11, let's look at, I can see myself in this camera, on 11/12/11, and someone just made a comment on a video of mine, triggers emotional eating, and I also got a comment on Facebook from someone. The Facebook comment was, after watching the video, they clearly understood their reason for their obesity was emotional eating. And did I think that lap band surgery would cure her emotional eating, or should she just go see a psychologist? And then just now a comment I got on that video was from someone saying that almost all of us, which I think is a very broad stroke, but almost all of us got fat or obese from emotional eating. Why did I get fat if it wasn't emotional eating? And she found it odd that I had just ran into this situation. So I decided that I would put a broad stroke on it and make this video. Why or what made me fat? And I think it'd be cool for others in the community to join me. I believe that when we, or you, if you're pre-op or considering weight loss surgery, need to select which surgery best fits you. And let's look at gastric bypass, Roux-en-Y, lap band, Realize band, VSG, vertical sleeve, mini gastric bypass, MGB, duodenal switch. I've seen something slim band. And there's also the I-band, the plication that's coming out. So there's a lot of different things now from the past and moving into the future that you can choose from as your weight loss surgery tool, right? I chose the lap band. I think you have to understand what your issue is, what made you fat or obese before you select to have a surgery and you elect to move forward with it. So, here's what made me fat. I was always a big girl. I've been 5 feet 10 inches tall since 1987 when I was in 7th grade. I never was able to wear any of my friends' clothes. I was always the big girl. Not necessarily weight-wise, but I grew and developed rapidly. My breasts were always bigger, my height was always bigger, my clothes were always bigger. My grandparents owned a grocery store, and I lived next to that grocery store. Anything and everything I wanted at any time was free. Go up to that candy thing, get what you wanted. There was no true education around nutrition or fitness in my household. Love my parents dearly, and I'm very fortunate to have such a wonderful family. I was born in 1974. I'm from the Midwest, a small one-stop sign town in Derwent, Ohio. Food was a very social event, and there was bread and meat and potatoes pretty much at every meal. And there was no limit on portions. My father is a fast eater, and I also followed in his footsteps, being a fast eater. And as we now know, or many of you maybe knew already, you know, through life you learn, you need 20 minutes for your food to digest. So when you eat rapidly and fast, your mind and your stomach do not connect. And so I would overeat for years. I was very active as a youth. From the time I was 4 years old, I was in dance, tap, jazz, ballet. I was a gymnast. I was in gymnastics. I was a swimmer. I was on the swim team. I played basketball in high school. We were a very good team. I did track in junior high and a little bit of high school. Hurdles and shot put, because I was one of the bigger, not so fast girls, and I had long legs, so they thought I could do the hurdles. I was a cheerleader in junior high, and I was the tallest cheerleader. So I was very active in my youth, in my high school. I ate what I wanted when I wanted, no thought about it. Whether I was hungry or not, if food was put in front of me, it looked good, I ate it. And when I was hungry, I ate what I wanted, so I ate food. In college, you hear about the freshman 15. I gained the freshman 40. I went to Johnson & Wales, which Banded B is a student there now, one of my alumnus, and in Providence, Rhode Island, and it was and is one of the top-notch, #1, depending on the day, culinary schools in the world. And our food was gourmet, or at least them working on attempting to make it gourmet. And so, the food there, and then the pizzas and at Domino's, and we had a vending machine in a house where I had Pepsi and Fritos. That was my breakfast every morning on the way to class. A lot of the food that we would eat was fast food, or that some type of takeoff of a fast food alternative that was not cooked at home, or it was processed. Again, it was cheap. We were college students. Also entered a ton of alcohol, a lot of beer. I lived in a house with 18 guys at one point for 2 years, and one girl. And it's probably why some of my best friends are men. We'd go to the liquor store and we'd all get a 12-pack of beer. I'd drink a 12-pack of beer, no problem. Throw in hard alcohol, throw in soda. Like I said, we had a vending machine and it was free in our house. And I was a Pepsi drinker, multiple Pepsis a day. No exercise. After high school, I stopped exercising. So that freshman 40 grew, and the Domino's lady knew who we were at night. It was a given every night around 11:30. We ordered about 3 large Domino's pizzas to be delivered to our house nightly. So eating late. And again, no limits on portions. None. After college, I moved to Southern California, and I worked. My career took over. I worked in a startup PC company. First PC under $1,000 I created and launched. And so let me tell you, I worked, ate, and slept at my job on many, many, many days. And the owner of my company loved carne asada. He loved Mexican, and he turned me on to carne asada burritos. I could eat 2 or 3 of those in a day, let alone any other food I was eating. Sitting at a desk, living in Southern California, spending an hour to an hour and a half one way twice a day in the car, getting to and from work, and working, 7 a.m. to 8 or 9 p.m. And then I have had a very successful career, fortunately. It's because I worked really hard and long, long, long hours. So a lot of takeouts, again, a lot of processed, home-cooked meals, and little to no exercise. And then I had money, and when it came time on Friday, it was happy hour, and food was a social, fun experience. It was the end of the week. There were always a celebration. Someone got engaged. Someone got a new apartment. Someone got a new job. It's somebody's birthday. It's Friday. It's Saturday. You ain't got nothing to do, let's have fun. And that was drinking and eating. It was easy to just go out and pay for something. I had the money. I just go out. I'll eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Again, throw that on top of eating out 3 meals a day regularly, and not controlling portions, and not thinking about food as fuel, but thinking about food as what I wanted or I desired. And I felt it was deserved, or I earned it because I had worked so hard in corporate America that I could do what I wanted to do. I did Weight Watchers, I did Oprah, I did South Beach Diet, I did J. Rob's Fruit Flush, and I've lost the same 100 pounds 3 times in my adult life. So I could successively diet, and I had trainers, you know, I had gym memberships, I could successfully exercise, but I couldn't maintain them and be consistent with both of them. And what I found was I would do one or the other or both together for a long time in the losing phase, and then I would get to where I wanted to be and start giving in and not eating as well and not exercising, and so it was always a teeter-totter. And for me, if it wasn't both of them at the same time, I was gaining weight. Then I came, you know, as the weight crept up, I got up to 269 pounds at one point, I started having pain in my foot, plantar fasciitis. So again, I was doing the J. Rob Fruit Flush, and I was losing weight. I think up to 50 pounds doing that, but I wasn't exercising because of the extreme foot pain. Or I would exercise one day and the foot hurt so bad I couldn't exercise for another week, and by then I was busy and and so, well, I'll just keep, you know, I'll start next week. I'll start next month. When I would get hungry, Penny, sorry. When I would get hungry, Penny, hey, please. Precious Penny. Precious Penny. When I would get hungry, I wasn't prepared. I had nothing planned. So again, it was normally order out, go out to eat, and when hunger would come, there was no control of thinking about what would again fuel me. It was more about what did I see that looked good that I could buy right now and eat, and throw in no portion control. In a regular stomach, I could eat a lot, right? And food was not, well, food was fun. It was fun. And it was tied to social engagements. And I live in Los Angeles. I've lived in San Diego. I've lived in Providence, Rhode Island. Some of the greatest places in the world to eat Italian, to eat Chinese, to eat Japanese, to eat Korean, to eat Mexican, you know, to eat Armenian, Middle Eastern foods. I mean, you name it. Food is everywhere. I work in the food industry. I've traveled for my job for the last 16 years. I'm a trade show girl, you know. And there's a lot of whining and dining with clients and late night eating and living out of hotel rooms. So those are my list of things of what made me fat. And it was not emotional. If you're just starting to watch my videos, 1 year ago, 1 year and a week ago, my mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Her breast cancer that she had 14 years ago, that she beat, came back. It has metastasized and spread throughout her entire body, and they gave her 24 months to live. Now, 24 months, you're all going to say, oh, you've seen miracles, and don't believe the number. It could be greater, it could be less. She could be here for 10 more years. I don't know. But what I do know is that my mother is too young to be dying. And a year ago, when I found out this information, that she had 24 months to live, I didn't know what today would be like. I didn't know that she'd still be here. And she's still here, and her cancer has not grown that we know of, and she's not feeling any different than she did 1 year ago. So that's a thumbs up, right? She is living her best life. You have choices with cancer. You can either choose to curl up in a ball and take pain meds and psychotic drugs for your mental mind state and die and be miserable. Or you can wake up every day and be glad that this is the day that you have and celebrate yourself, your life, your family, and enjoy every moment of it. And be as positive and optimistic each and every day. And that is what my mother does every day. But when that news came to me, I had been at my goal weight July, August, September, October, November, 5 months. And let me tell you, if you've ever had the experience of a family member or someone extremely close to you, in this case my mother, be given a terminal life sentence of death in 24 months, you'll find out if you're an emotional eater. And I never thought that I was an emotional eater, but at this point, 12 months and 1 week into my mother's terminal cancer status, I haven't gained any weight. I'm below my goal weight. I've lost even more weight than that. I live within a healthy range of 138 to 148, and I'm not an emotional eater. So my mother's death sentence and her fight for life has not turned me to food. And if there's any emotion greater than the sadness of losing my mother, I don't know what that is. And I have not turned to food. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. I am not an emotional eater. I did not eat that day. I have a minor in psychology, and I mentally do the work required on the journey. My issue for weight loss surgery and being fat has been discussed here. The number one thing that always comes to my head, portion control. And the lap band does that for me, as well as my willpower and my strength and my food scale. So anyway, I hope I answered the question. It was a long one, but I guess it's pretty pertinent out there. I don't think that everybody who's had weight loss surgery or needs it got obese because of emotions. Not me. Take care. Thanks for watching.